Alright, today we're going to be working on a 1969 Plymouth Road Runner. It's a family member's car. It's been sitting for probably 12 plus years. The motor's locked up. We're going to pull the spark plugs out, quench down the cylinder walls, try to get the block free again. The intake manifold gasket was leaking prior to it being parked. We have a new Felt Pro intake manifold gasket that we're going to replace. Just basically have to do a once over on everything to get the car running again. Unfortunately, since it was sitting for so long, the brake lines are in bad shape, fuel lines are in bad shape. It's going to take a little bit to get this thing running again. This car is in immaculate condition for its age. It was stored relatively well, but being that we live in New Jersey with a lot of temperature variations and stuff, unfortunately some of the stuff, like the motor, is kind of hung up a little bit, and I shouldn't have a problem moving it. I feel like these 440s, because this thing has a 440 in it, are pretty solidly built, and I'm not really too worried about getting it free. So I'll bring you around the car, show you what we're working on today, and start bringing some wrenches. So take a quick gander at this. It's a really nice vehicle. At the 440, I recently took this off and repainted it because it had a bunch of debris and stuff on there. I think it came out pretty good. Got the new decal and stuff on there. It's a very nice car. It's a family member's car, and I like to do it right. As you can see in the background, we have our 61 Cadillac Fleetwood. I will be doing a full video on that, don't worry. You will see it in the background. We are currently in my pole barn. This is it's a 50 by 80 pole barn that I have on my property that I use to store vehicles and equipment in the off season. Obviously these vehicles do not see inclement weather. They do not see road salt. They are perfectly preserved and maintained in this enclosure because it's weatherproof. As usual, my helper's with me today. You can see him in the background getting tied up in his bed, because why wouldn't he be? And that's pretty much it. Enough chit chat. Let's get to work. Next time you see this motor, I'm going to have the intake removed. I'm going to remove the carburetor. I'm going to remove the actual intake manifold. We're going to get down to the top end of the block so we can get a good look at the lifters and the actual push rods, make sure nothing's bent. And that's pretty much it for now. I can do a once over on this vehicle in its entirety when we get it running. My main priority is to hear this thing run so that I know we have a healthy engine, and then we'll go from there. I already have a couple goodies for this that we're going to swap out. I'm going to take the original, it had a I think it was a 2 or 4 barrel carburetor, single carburetor intake manifold. As you can see, it's that big heavy orange thing, and we have the speed parts for it. We had a 440 Edelbrock Torker intake manifold that I want to put on here. Just redid it. I also have a Holley. It looks like it either, I don't know if this is a 650 or 750. I have to double check what that actually is, but it's got some nice performance parts that we're going to put on this, help it run a little bit more, get a little more oomph out of it. So this is just my kind of workbench that we didn't really finish yet. I just needed something out here to put some stuff on. Like I said, this is kind of like the overflow from the main garage up front. These are being worked on currently in the background. I'll do full videos on them soon. So I'll make a long story short, like I said, enough chit chat. Next time you see this vehicle, I'm gonna have the whole top end basically removed, and we'll get into it. You can see what I'm working with. It's a really nice engine. It's all complete. It's all there. I pulled the battery out. Got a new battery for it. It's over there charging as we speak. Any good project starts with the battery on boil, as a lot of guys say. And it should be it. I don't really see too many issues with this besides it just sitting. Unfortunately, when these vehicles sit, they accumulate a lot of issues. A lot of vehicles like to be driven. So, all right, that's it for now. I just wanted to give you a small recap where we're at today and what the project entails. Okay, got the carburetor off. As you can see, this thing is it's been ran pretty hard for its life. So it's, like I said, I want to replace it. Got some of the bolts out for the intake manifold, belly pan. These engines are pretty neat. They're like a dry intake, so no coolant actually runs through the intake manifold, which is nice. It actually was really well thought out in the 60s for performance. You got no hot coolant running through the intake, and you have a denser, colder air charge going into your engine, so you get more horsepower. Really cool technology. A lot of that, like the LS1 went to that. They have obviously the polycarbonate or plastic intakes now, and they're all dry intakes, which means you can unbolt this without having to drain the coolant system. A lot of the older cars have the the thermostat hooked up to the what's called intake manifold, and you have to unfortunately drain the coolant system in order to take the intake manifold off. You don't have to do that in this Plymouth. Obviously they thought about that when they were doing this, and it's basically a drag car. It's got a high output, high horsepower engine, manual transmission, and it's about as light as it could be. It's a fiberglass hood with a scoop and stuff on it. Like I said, this thing was built for drag racing. So it's a really cool car, as opposed to the Fleetwood, which is designed for cruising and fitting 26 people in it. It's literally the length of my Silverado. Actually, I think this is longer than my Silverado, but it's an amazing car, and like I said, we'll go over that in a different video. I just wanted to show you that this was pretty neat, and this is just a dry intake manifold. I already got the bolts out. I'm about to lift it off, and we'll see what's in there. Hopefully it's in good shape. I'm really hoping that it's just some oil and really no debris or anything like that. I'm not really sure what has been done to this, what needs to be done. So right now we're in the investigating mode right now, so we'll get back to you. Okay, I got the intake manifold off. The intake, or the belly pan, intake manifold gasket, it's all in one. As you can see, this is the metal gasket that seals the intake manifold to the heads, and the belly pan is held down with these two bars with three 7/16 bolts in the back, and these are only they're really not torqued out that high. There's maybe 20, I think it's like 20 to 25 foot-pounds. It really doesn't take much to break them loose. Word of advice: when you're cracking these loose, just be mindful your heads are open, so anything you drop down here is going to end up inside your engine, and you're going to be in a world of hurt. So take your time. I just wanted to give you a recap on that real quick. It just looks like these two bars, the only thing that's really holding it in place. I'm going to take these out. Obviously I got the back one out already. I'll take the front one out. I'll remove the belly pan, and you can see the inside of the top of this engine. Okay, some good news. Looks pretty clean in there for it sitting for so long. I mean, obviously it's got a little bit of debris. Looks like it's got some paint flakes from me obviously removing the intake manifold. Nothing of concern besides it's just old oil. Push rods, I just spun them all. They all are straight. I don't see any bent push rods. The lifters obviously are probably completely collapsed because I'm sure they have no oil in them, so we'll have to prime the engine prior to starting it. The runners are a little dirty. It looks like it was running rich. Can't really see in there, but it's got a little bit of carbon buildup. I'm going to clean all this off, some brake clean, and shove some rags in the ports to make sure nothing falls in there. We don't get any debris or anything down there, and we'll try to clean out this as best as we can prior to putting the new intake manifold gasket on, and obviously the new intake manifold, and the new to me carburetor. I tried to go with everything that was period correct. These are all period correct things that you would see in the speed shop in the 60s. So that's why I kind of thought it was pretty neat. Like I said, obviously it would be really cool looking on there. I actually just poured some Marvel Mystery Oil in the intake runners to try to get some lubrication on top of those pistons. Don't go too crazy. All you need is like an ounce or two per cylinder, if that. Just let that stuff sit and soak, and we'll pull the plugs. We'll crank over the engine by hand first. Crank over the engine by hand. Try to go real soft back and forth. Make sure you try cracking this free prior to cranking on the starter, because if you just go in there and start cranking, you're going to have you can actually snap the nose off the starter, and you're going to have major issues with that as well, or crack your flywheel or do something crazy like that. So just a small recap, show you where I'm at. Intake manifolds off, intake manifold gaskets off. I'm going to clean the top end of this, get it ready and prepped for the new intake manifold gasket and the new speed parts They're sitting over there, and we'll do a update on little guy. He's out here enjoying the sun. What's up, buddy? You enjoying the sun? Yeah, you be a good boy, okay? I'm busy today. Got lots of stuff to do. Alright, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you that. You can move the camera around a little bit. I'll show you just a quick snapshot side of this car. It's got a really cool profile. It's got kind of got like a raked stance to it. Like I said, it's ready, man. It wants to run. I can tell just by looking at her. She wants to go down the track again. She's begging to be pushed. It's a really cool car, man. Really cool. Beep beep. That's cool. Yeah, this is really neat, man. I really like the blue too. It's got like almost like a small, like a little bit of metallic flake in it. Look at that cool. Look at that back end. It's awesome. Got some big meaty tires on the back. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I guess I'll do it once around on this car after we get it running. I heard from the previous owner that this 440 sounds mean when it's running, so I'm super excited to actually get it fired up and get the engine free again, and you know, polish up some of this chrome. The interior is spotless in this thing. It's like I said, this car was in immaculate condition. So I mean, look at this interior. It's awesome. It's like super clean in there. Hey, look at that. That's great, man. Even the back seat, obviously the front seat. I got these peppermint packages in there, keep any critters from getting in there. Got a manual. Like I said, this is a drag car. That's how they built them. Just cranked down windows. You know, it was basically stripped down, ready for the track. So really cool, really neat. All right, that's it. Enough chit chat. Just wanted to give you an update where I was at, what was going on with this. Quick tech tip. These topside creepers are a lifesaver for your back, especially on these older vehicles where the engine's further back inside the vehicle. You have this long nose. I just wanted to give a shout out to this. This was just a cheap one from the Jungle website. My wife got it for me for Christmas. It literally paid for itself just by doing this project on saving my back. Let's take a quick look, see where we're at today. So here's where I'm at. So I got it all cleaned. This is what it should look like. You want a nice clean maiden surface. We're going to use silicone, the black RTV around here, all the way up to about here, and then the rest is the actual intake manifold gasket. I cleaned out the valley pan too. There was just some debris, some old oil. As you can see, there's still some rags in there. This clean the intake, run it to clean the intake, try to get some of that carbon and crap out. Had this one, real small one, try to clean some of these bolt holes and stuff out. And then obviously a Wizzy wheel. These things pay for themselves. I highly recommend investing in some of these. These ones are nice because they don't take any of the metal. They just take the gasket material and some of the loose paint and rust and debris off. So this is what you want to use. You don't want to use like a Wizzy disc, like one of the ones that has like sandpaper on it, because you will actually mess up the metal. So you want something like this. It's actually rated it's like a gasket remover disc, and you can get these off Amazon or eBay or wherever. I think this is just a 3M brand you can get from like Ranger. But like, long story short, I just want to give you a small recap where I'm at. It's thoroughly cleaned. I'm going to spray it down with some brake clean. Just regular dunk brake clean, nothing special. I'll spray it on a rag, microfiber, lint free, get it nice and ready and prepped. I'm going to go get the Mopar black RTV, which is rated for this, and we're going to put that in, and I'm going to clean out all the bolt holes and get it ready and prepped, ready to go. So just a quick recap. Be back in a minute. Okay, so just a quick recap. This is nice and clean. I'm letting it air dry right now and just sprayed it down, cleaned it with the microfiber lint-free cloth. Just to show you guys, this is the part number for the Felpro intake manifold gasket, or valley pan gasket set is what they actually call it. It comes with some type of RTV, but the stuff that it came with is actually hardened already. So I actually have a really nice Mopar RTV. I have to go back up to the house and grab it. I painted the valley pan because you see this, and I got obviously VHT high temperature Chrysler Hemi orange. I don't know if you can see that. So I actually taped it off and painted it, because underneath this open air intake you're going to see this pan, and I kind of wanted it to look presentable. My buddy chilling. You chilling in the sun? You working on your tan? Good boy. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you that real quick. Paint it. It takes a little bit of time to do. I'm actually going to do the hold down straps, whatever you want to call it, too. I'm going to paint them orange to get them ready and cleaned up and stuff, so it just looks good on the car. Obviously this car hasn't been touched in a long time, over a decade at this point, and everything I want to put on, it takes a little bit of time, but just do it right. Take your time, go out, spend 13 bucks in spray paint, sand it down, take your time, paint it. You know, like I said, I repainted. I used the VHT flame proof on the intake manifold, try to make it nice and clean, so this looks good when you put it in the car. The carburetor I'll polish once in the car. Obviously we're gonna have to adjust it and do some other tuning and stuff while we get it running, but you know, that's why it's always good to have a good working space. You know, I have a pretty decent sized workbench that I built out here in the barn, and that's the reason why. You always want a clean work area. I even have a temporary workbench in front of the Cadillac, because I'm still doing stuff to that, and you know, just miscellaneous stuff. Doing electrical out here, running lights and stuff. I got the skylights that help a lot during the day, but I also have I think I have 18 of these LED lights out here too, so I can work at night. So like I said, it's coming along. This is kind of like the overflow slash man cave slash pole barn, and you'll see a lot of this coming up in the future videos, because I do a lot of work out here as well. So all right, I'm just going to give you a quick recap of that. I'm trying to show you, just, you know, take your time. This isn't going to be a Barrett Jackson show quality vehicle, but it's still going to look good, and you can still take it to car shows, you can still run it down the track, and that's kind of what I was aiming for with some of these performance parts. So all right, I'll be back a couple minutes. Actually, I'll be back instantly for you guys. A couple minutes for me. I got to run up to the house real quick and grab that Mopar RTV. I'll show you the stuff that I use. It works really well. I used it for multiple years at this point for all types of intake, manifold, gasket stuff, but it's really, really good stuff. Anyway, so I'll be back. Okay, I got these all polished up. I'm gonna wipe them down with some brake clean and paint on the same Hemi orange as the Valley Pan. A little tech tip, I like to call it that, just to give you guys some input. If you take the bolts and push them through some, you know, old cardboard, they're easier to clean, and you're actually getting ready to paint them too. So as you can see, these are kind of recessed at the top. Yeah, that's a good angle. In order to get all the gunk out, if you take, you know, put them on a piece of cardboard and then take your wire brush, and if you try and do it one hand, it's fun, but it's easier to actually clean these now that they're in the cardboard. I can actually scrub them real good, get a little bit of a groove in there, and it gives a little bit better surface for the paint to stick. So I can literally leave this piece of cardboard. As you can see, I was using it for spray paint already, and then I can put these bars on the same cardboard and paint it all the same shot when I go and paint it. Just wanted to give you that little tech tip on how to paint these without having them roll around and be a pain in the butt. Okay, so here's the Mopar RTV that I recommend. I have had really good luck with this. The room temperature vulcanation basically means as soon as you open up this tube, the silicone RTV actually starts to cure based off the room temperature. It's actually really nice out right now. If you read the directions, it actually tells you not to use unless it's you know, stored below 80 degrees. You know, make sure that it's nice out. You know, you don't want to be outside in 30-degree weather trying to use this stuff, because it's never going to cure. You want to be, you know, comfortable between like 60 and, you know, 90 with like decent humidity. This is the genuine Mopar stuff. Like I said, I've used this on other vehicles. It doesn't have to obviously be Mopar, but whatever the development team behind this RTV was, they did a really good job, because I used this on a lot of stuff and had really good results. I highly recommend this. I buy everything with my own money. This is by no means a sponsorship, but I just want to show you guys the stuff that I use, and I've had really good results. So I just wanted to show you that. Like I said, I had to run up to the house and get it real quick because I'm down on the pole barn today. But that's the stuff we're going to use. the way that you're going to use this stuff is you want to build walls. You know, the mechanics call them China walls. That's basically what you're doing. You're building a wall. You want to build a 1/4 inch bead of silicone from here, run it all the way down the back, across and up, and you kind of want to go a little bit over to about the first intake manifold bowl hole. Some people do a skim coat around the runners. I don't recommend that because sometimes the silicone, if you squeeze it too tight, sometimes the silicone will actually run into the intake runner, and over time it will flake off and get sucked in. There's a lot of volume of air running through these intake runners while the engine's running, and the likelihood of loose silicone getting sucked in is actually high probability of happening. So I don't recommend it. The Felpro gasket is a metal crush gasket, so it's designed to seal around these intake port runners, or whatever you want to call it. But the only thing that they're not designed to do is, that's the reason why you have that RTV, because you want to do it back here and along the edge, and you want to do the same thing in the front. So you want to get real close, real nice good goop on the corner over here on each side. Don't go too crazy because you don't want to once again run it into your valley. And that's what that metal strip is for, which I actually currently have curing in the sun right now. I just did a dusting. Take you real quick. This is where we can speed up the shot. But just did a light dusting out here. Got it going. So I do a light coat, then I do a medium, kind of a build coat, and then I finish with a light coat once again. So I usually do about 3 coats. Like I said, I've had really good luck with the VHT stuff. It'll make the engine have a little bit more pop, as opposed to you know, having scummy looking parts. Like, if you're going to take the parts, if you're going to take it apart, clean it up and just do it right. That's my only recommendation. Saves you time, makes the vehicle look a hell of a lot better, and you know, it's a representation of your work too. If you do good work, people will come back to you. You start charging more money, and that's basically the grand scheme of things. Obviously, this is a family member's car. I'm doing it out of love and respect to them, and you know, same thing with that Cadillac. That's our vehicle. So these aren't client cars; these are family cars. So I'm absolutely going to take my time and do it right, and do it a very thorough job. So that was basically it. Just want to give you a small recap of that. Get the ball rolling on that. So enough chit chat. Let's crank some wrenches. Okay, so I got the RTV vulcanizing as we speak. This is what I'm talking about, how you want to put it in the corners real good. Just do a 1/4 inch bead, put it in the corners real good. My recommendation is to get like a bolt, cut the head off, and I'm going to spin them in and use them as a stud, just to help guide everything up, because I'm going to put the intake manifold gasket down first, and then I'm going to do the intake manifold itself. So just thread these in by hand, and now I have a guide. See, just use those studs, and then I can, because I'm by myself obviously, so I don't have somebody spotting it as I'm lowering it down. Now I can do the intake manifold gasket, put the bars in, do the 3 7/16 bolts to hold it down, and then we'll lower the intake manifold itself. So I'll be back. I just wanted to show you that update real quick. Okay, now you can see that the intake manifold gasket, or valley pan, whatever you want to call it, it's in. These bars are both down. These 7/16 are like 25 foot-pounds. So there's really not a lot of torque. They're small. They're easy to snap off, and you do not want to snap them off. Trust me. So take your time. Do the center one first, hand tight, then work your way out. Same thing up here, center one, work your way out. But you see how much nicer it looks with the valley pan painted. The bars are painted now, the bolts are painted, so it looks a lot better. You can see where the silicone actually squished out of the corners, which is exactly what you want, because now you have a good silicone seal around these corners, and that's what actually keeps the oil from seeping out. This thing had an oil, as you can tell, I had an oil leak on the back because there was no silicone back here. It's just the original gasket, and it's a compression gasket. So as soon as you torque this down, these squeeze a little bit and you lose that seal. So if you remove the intake manifold again, you should put silicone around it if you're going to reuse this, but this is brand new. Obviously it's not compressed yet, so we're going to put the intake manifold on now. That's the quick update. I just wanted to show you step by step of how to do this, in case nobody's ever done it before, if they're curious. That's all. As you can see, I put those studs in like I told you. I cut the heads off. Now I have something for the intake manifold to slide down while I put all the torque bolts in. All right, got the intake manifold on. It was kind of a pain in the butt because of this wedge design. I actually had some Edelbrock Torx, I guess you call them studs. These guys, they were really nice. I actually really wanted to use them, but for the 4 center ones, I had to use some basic hardware, and then I used these on the outside because these were just way too long and they kept interfering with the runners. They just wouldn't fit. They were just too long. So it looks good. I'm not upset about it. It's just, you know, I got 4, you know, basic hardware in the middle, and then I got these nice fancy ones on the outside, so you can see it. You get the idea. But intake manifolds on. Torque sequence is 20 foot-pounds and then 40 foot-pounds. And there is a torque sequence. I found it online. This is it right here. You can pause the video and take a look at it. This is readily available online. Start from the passenger side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see it. There's a torque sequence. So go 20 foot-pounds, 1 pass, second pass, 40 foot-pounds. And with the aluminum intake manifolds, I highly recommend you follow the torque sequence because they will warp. It's aluminum. These are cast iron heads, so if you don't torque it down right, you're gonna have it leaks and you're gonna have issues. So just take your time. Like I said, the information is available online. I'm sorry it's blurry. I'll see if I can post a picture a little bit better one on the video. Here we go. But yeah, you see. So there you go. So just follow that sequence: 20 foot-pounds, first pass, second pass, 40 foot-pounds. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to torque these down, and then we'll try to get the carburetor on too. All right, intake manifold is torqued down, and it looks good. Sun's coming in at a good angle. You got good light now. Here's the carburetor gasket that I'm using. It's all Pro once again. They make pretty good products. Made in USA. This is the part number. If anybody needs it or is curious. I just cleaned up the carburetor, sprayed it down with some carb cleaner. Got it looking decent. Like I said, it was used, but it worked. So I'm gonna obviously put it on this car because I know it works. It's a decent electric choke Holley performance carburetor. So I got these studs for the intake manifold. It's obviously an Edelbrock intake manifold, and I'm putting the Holley carburetor on it. So you got to get these studs, and you got to get the Felt Pro gasket that has the square bore flange on it as well. So let's do that real quick. All right, put the carburetor studs in. You can see them. I got 2-inch studs in case I ever want to put a spacer in. Torque down the carburetor. Obviously the manifold, intake manifold's torqued down, carburetor's installed. I'm not going to hook up the fuel system just yet because I know there's old fuel in the tank that's 12 plus years old, so we got to get it out of there first. I'll do a temporary line going to it to get the engine up and running. And obviously we got to tune the carburetor. I got to hook up the throttle linkage, do that, all that stuff still. I just want to give you a quick update with the intake manifold on and the Holley carburetor. So the sun's coming in the skylights of the barn, so it looks pretty good. It's getting there. Big old freaking engine, man. That valley pan looks good. I like the way that the silver and chrome. I'll polish these up. I actually tried the Holley valve covers. I was looking at. I can probably polish them up. I use some of the red Scotch Brite, so I'll polish out the Holley and yeah, the heat, whatever you want to call them, rails, whatever you want, the heat rails. Yeah, I guess we'll call it that. I'll polish those out too to bring it out, but you can see the fresh paint, the valley pan, and it just looks a lot better. It's just a cleaner looking engine now, so I'm super excited to get her going. I think this is going to be it for this video right now. I just wanted to get it together so there's nothing open. I'm going to go inside and feed my pup, feed me, get some cold snacks. Definitely have a couple drinks after this one. This isn't super complex operation to do. I just wanted to take my time, show you a step-by-step process, and just do it properly. You know, take your time, do it right. Once again, this is a family member's car. I want to make sure it's thorough, done properly, and it looks great. So, all right, guys. So that should be it. I don't think there's anything else right now I want to cover. Just show you this. Hopefully, the next video we'll have this thing cranking and get it running. I got to pull spark plugs out still, and you know, rotate the engine. I have a strong feeling that it shouldn't be a problem. I think it's just because it was sitting. There's a little bit of a rust ridge in there, and you know, I'll get the ball rolling on that. So that should be it, guys. All right, have a good one.